Have you ever felt like you carry a pain that is not just yours? As if your soul had gone through lives, defeats, deaths, and yet was reborn with more strength? What if I told you that this is not a coincidence? It is a calling. Scorpio is not just a zodiac sign. Scorpio is a portal, a spiritual signature marked by something that few can bear, the regeneration of the soul. There is an invisible force that accompanies those born under this sign, something that goes far beyond personality. It is a mission, a silent pact with the invisible, with the hidden, with the sacred. Edgar Cayce, one of the greatest spiritual prophets of the last century, stated that Scorpio is the guardian of an ancestral power, a power that transforms pain into wisdom, loss into strength, death into life. When everyone falls, Scorpios rebuild themselves. When everything seems to fall apart, he finds the key hidden at the bottom of the abyss. Why? Because your soul is immortal, and within that soul, there is a code, a secret that speaks of rebirth, transmutation, and spiritual healing. Maybe you're a Scorpio, or maybe you've been touched by this energy at some point in your life. But if this message reached you, it was not by chance. The secrets that are about to be revealed have been hidden for generations, waiting for someone prepared to listen. Are you ready to discover why Scorpio has mastered the art of spiritual regeneration? Because what comes next could completely change the way you see your pain, your destiny, and your soul. If this makes sense to you, write in the comments, "I accept my essence," and get ready, because the journey is just beginning. If you felt that this call spoke directly to your soul, it is because there is something inside you that you already knew. Scorpio's energy does not enter by chance. It awakens, penetrates, transforms. And when you recognize this, something inside you begins to reorganize itself. Therefore, it is essential that you remain here until the end. What we are going to reveal is not just about astrology, it is about spiritual memories that have been dormant. Understanding what it really means to carry this Scorpio force can help you heal repetitive patterns, overcome painful cycles, and activate a purpose that until now seemed hidden in the shadows. So comment below, "I carry this energy." That's not just a sentence. It is a spiritual seal. It is confirmation that you recognize what vibrates within you. And if you know someone from Scorpio, send them this video. This person may need exactly these words to remember who they are. Now, before we move on, I need to ask you 3 things that make all the difference for this portal to remain open. Like this video now. This helps YouTube deliver this message to other souls who are seeking this same awakening. Subscribe to the channel, because the spiritual journey we started here doesn't end in this video. And activate the notification bell, because in the next chapters we will delve even deeper into the prophecies, the forgotten truths, and the gifts that have been hidden for ages. Are you ready? Because what comes now touches where ordinary words cannot reach. Have you ever felt like your pain changed you forever, but somehow made you stronger spiritually? As if there was something sacred behind each fall, as if each loss was aligned with a plan that your mind didn't understand, but your soul already knew? There are pains that seem disproportionate, unfair, even cruel, but when you survive them, something inside you doesn't go back to the way it was before. You don't just move on, you are reborn. And this rebirth is spiritual, silent, deep. This is regeneration. That's Scorpio. People associate Scorpio with intensity, mystery, sexuality, possessiveness. But what few understand, and what almost no one tells you, is that behind all this there is a soul that carries a power that goes far beyond human emotions. A soul marked by experiences that serve a spiritual purpose, awakening the power to transmute pain into wisdom, chaos into alignment, death into new life. Scorpio masters this secret because he has already experienced it 1,000 times, in silence, no applause, and with a strength that doesn't ask for permission. This strength is not born of pride or vanity. It is born from the fall, from pain, from the darkness. And that's exactly why Scorpio is one of the most spiritually powerful signs in the entire zodiac. When everyone gives up, he persists. When everyone doubts, he feels it. When everything breaks, he rebuilds, alone, in the dark, while the world sleeps. This is not a choice. It's a calling. The Scorpio soul has a direct connection with ancient archetypes that have always been associated with spiritual rebirth. In ancient cultures, the scorpion was a symbol of divine protection, initiatory death, and occult healing. No wonder, spiritually speaking, by the way, those born under this sign are called to deeper processes than most. And these are not just tests of ordinary life, they are tests of the soul. It is as if the universe challenges this soul at all times, precisely because it has the ability to go through these trials and come back stronger, more aware, more awakened. Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, talked about how certain souls carry spiritual codes that activate throughout life. For him, Scorpio was one of those signs that already incarnates with the commitment to be a transformer, a silent spiritual agent. And that's why many Scorpios experience early losses, intense betrayals, painful breakups, and deep feelings of inadequacy. It's not punishment, it's activation. Each moment of pain ignites a part of consciousness. Each end makes room for a new level of perception, and little by little, this soul understands. Nothing was by chance. Nothing was in vain. Everything was preparation. It is common for people with a strong Scorpio influence to feel from a very early age that they carry something different. A weight, a strange sensitivity, a sharp intuition that sometimes scares, an internal silence that is never completely filled, and above all, a constant feeling that something big is coming, as if there were a destiny, a mission, a kind of invisible contract with the universe. This feeling is not an illusion. It is spiritual memory, and the closer the Scorpio soul gets to its purpose, the more it understands that its journey is lonely, but never empty. It's intense, but never meaningless. It is deep, but never without light. Even in moments when everything seems to be falling apart, it's as if a part of that soul knows that this is just another stage in the cycle. Scorpio lives in cycles. Die and be reborn. Go up and down. Go to hell and come back wisely. Every break, every loss, every darkness, everything helps him discover the truth that lives within him. And this truth is clear. The soul does not die. She just transforms. What Scorpio carries is the gift of spiritual transmutation, a gift that cannot be learned in books or taught in schools. It is a gift that is activated in pain and perfected in silence. Therefore, if you identified with all of this, even if you are not a Scorpio, it may be that this energy is part of your astral chart, or that your soul has already gone through Scorpio experiences in other lives. Don't ignore this connection. Don't disbelieve what you feel. True. Spirituality begins when you stop trying to explain everything and start listening to what your heart already knows. Scorpio is known as the sign of death, but this is a misinterpretation. It does not represent the end, but rebirth. He is the living symbol of the immortal soul, and understanding this could be the key to understanding not only who you are, but why you went through everything you did. There is no spiritual growth without pain, and Scorpio is the master of this alchemy. He transforms pain into awakening. If you've come this far, it's because your soul recognized something true on this path. Therefore, I want to invite you now to speak out. Yes, speak up in the comments. Leave your vibration registered. Write, I have already been reborn from the ashes. Or if you feel that you carry this deep energy of regeneration, write, I am transformation. Each comment is like an energetic signature, a seal, a silent ritual of spiritual recognition. And if this content touched something in you, like this video now, not out of vanity, but because it helps the message reach other people who are looking for the same reunion with their essence, subscribe too, because this is just the first of many reveals. There's a lot more coming, and together we will open the portals that have been locked for centuries. The journey is just beginning. Scorpio is not born like other signs. He is awakened. There is an instant, usually silent, often still in childhood, when something inside that soul activates, as if it were a spiritual alarm, a silent call, impossible to ignore. From an early age, those who carry this vibration feel that they are different. Not better, not worse, but different. The world seems heavier, words seem shallower, looks seem more blind. Scorpio feels what others don't feel, perceive hidden intentions, read silences, see beyond masks. And that's not imagination. It's ancestral sensitivity. It is a spiritual gift that is encoded in the soul. A sensitivity that may seem like a burden to those who do not understand, but which in fact is a compass that points inward, to the invisible, to what is beyond the veil of matter. Your silence is not coldness, it's protection. Your look is not judgment, it's energy reading. Its intensity is no exaggeration, it's too much truth pulsing inside. Scorpios do not live on the surface. He dives, and this dive is what allows him to access places that no one else has the courage to explore, neither outside nor within themselves. This is reflected in everything, in relationships, in dreams, in choices, in pain. Where most avoid, he faces. Where others give up, he insists. Where everything ends, it begins. Edgar Cayce, in his visions and spiritual revelations, said that Scorpios are living portals between heaven and the underworld. And this definition is not poetic. It is precise. Scorpio has the ability to walk between extremes, light and shadow, life and death, pain and healing. It is the sign of the crossing, not in a symbolic way, but in a real way. He constantly lives between what the world sees and what the world is not yet ready to accept. This makes many Scorpios grow up feeling out of place, as if they were too old for a world that lives on appearances. But this feeling of not belonging is actually a sign that your mission is not to fit in, it's to bring about transformation. Scorpio is not afraid of death because he understands that dying is not the end. It's just the transition. And that's why he carries this magnetism. That's why his presence, even silent, is so intense. He carries the symbol of the spiritual phoenix, one who burns to be reborn, who accepts destruction to be reborn stronger, purer, more conscious. This awareness cannot be explained logically. It is felt. And only those who have experienced profound losses and painful rebirths understand the magnitude of this process. It is in these moments that Scorpio energy fully reveals itself. Have you ever noticed how Scorpios tend to go through phases of isolation? It's not because of antisociality. It's because he needs these cycles of withdrawal to be reborn. Scorpio is like a snake that sheds its skin, like the volcano that sleeps for years until it explodes, like the lake that seems peaceful, but harbors storms beneath the surface. Your soul needs silence, introspection, mystery, because that's where he reconnects with his essence. And when that reconnection happens, nothing can stop it. He becomes invincible, not in the arrogant sense of the word, but in the spiritual sense. No one can destroy a soul that has learned to remake itself. Scorpio also holds ancient knowledge about sacred sexuality, about the creative force of vital energy, about how desire and spirit are intertwined in a dance that goes far beyond the physical. He understands that all energy, including sexual energy, can be transmuted into spiritual power, into healing, into a channel of revelation. That's why it tends to attract looks, provoke intense emotions, and even arouse fear, because it activates what is dormant in people. He reveals what is hidden, and not everyone is ready to deal with the truth itself. This power isn't something Scorpio seeks. It's something he is. But it takes time for him to accept this. Many spend years trying to fit in, erase themselves, silence themselves, until they finally understand that they were made to illuminate through depth. And when this acceptance happens, the world around begins to align. Synchronicities increase, the cycles become clearer, intuitions become more accurate, and he finally begins to occupy his spiritual place, that of guardian of the hidden truth, of what cannot be seen, but needs to be felt. That's why Scorpio, even in silence, conveys strength. Its simple presence in an environment already changes the energy. He has this gift of catalyzing transformations in others, even without saying a word. This happens because it carries spiritual codes that are activated by presence. And these codes are not common. They are codes of transmutation, healing, awakening. And whoever is open feels it. Whoever is ready understands. And those who need it transform. Therefore, if you are a Scorpio, or if you feel that this energy inhabits you, don't run away from it. Don't fight this depth. She is your essence. And the more you embrace it, the closer you get to your mission. And if all of this is resonating with you, if you've read this far feeling like this is describing something you never knew how to put into words, then write in the comments, "My soul carries this seal." Or, if you feel that this Scorpio force has already transformed you more than once, comment, "I am the crossing." Your every word here is like a portal that opens to others who are still in the process. Like this video now if you felt this vibration touch you. This helps YouTube understand that this message needs to reach other awakening souls. And if you haven't signed up yet, do so now, because in the next few minutes we're going to dive even deeper, and maybe for the first time, you'll understand why your pain was the beginning of your rebirth. These souls do not have easy lives, and this is not exaggeration nor drama. It is a profound spiritual reality. Scorpios, or those who carry this frequency in their chart or soul, do not have cosmic permission to live on the surface. They did not come into the world to have warm, predictable existences or protected by comfort zones. From an early age, they are called to experiences that mark, tear, and challenge. It's not because they're unlucky. It's not because the universe picked on it. It is because these souls were shaped to withstand pressures that would destroy any other energetic structure. They came to transmute, to transform, to regenerate. And to do this, they need to be pushed to the limit, because only those who know rock bottom are able to show the world where true light is born. Intense losses, abandonments that tear apart, betrayals that hurt deeply, relationships that collapse in a cruel way, phases in which everything seems to fall apart without explanation. These are not coincidences. They are portals. These are activations. They are silent proof that there is a force shaping this soul from within. Scorpio, in its spiritual essence, is the sign that represents the initiatory stage of symbolic death, but not the death that scares, the death that cleanses, that closes, that prepares the ground for something greater. This is why so many people with Scorpio energy always seem to be starting over something, because their lives are made of cycles, and with each end, there is a new birth. With each pain, a new level of consciousness. It is not uncommon to find Scorpios who report challenging childhoods, accelerated growth, situations where they had to mature before their time. In many cases, they are people who even as teenagers carried pains, questions, and sensations that their friends did not understand. They felt too much. They suffered in silence. They sensed what was going to happen. They saw through the words. They perceived hidden truths that no one admitted. This caused separation, judgment, rejection, but it also shaped a rare spiritual strength, the strength of someone who learns to be sufficient from within, from those who understand that their pain is not weakness, but sacred. Language, from someone who realizes that their emotional intensity is in fact a spiritual sensor, not a defect. These experiences of deep pain are what activate the transmutation code. These are silent rites of passage. When a Scorpio soul suffers, something inside them lights up. Not immediately, not lightly, but with depth. She bleeds but watches. She falls but processes. She cries but connects. And in this process, which can last weeks, months, sometimes years, she begins to realize that suffering did not destroy her. He revealed. Scorpio understands over time that wounds are nothing to be ashamed of. They are for wisdom. Every pain is a mirror. Every crisis is an initiation. Each loss is proof that the soul is greater than any material structure. This is why these souls have so much healing power, because they don't talk about theory, they talk about experience. They don't just explain, they feel, they dive with each other, and that is the true gift of spiritual regeneration. Scorpios, or whoever carries their energy, do not try to fix others by saying, "It will pass." He looks deep into the eyes and says, "I've been there, and I came back, and you will come back too." This presence, this silence full of truth, this firmness in the midst of chaos, are marks of souls that were prepared by fire, by the abyss, by the dark night of the spirit. These are people who, instead of running away from suffering, learn to go through it with awareness. But there is a price. The world doesn't always understand this depth. These souls are often seen as distant, cold, difficult, when in fact, they are only protecting something sacred, their sensitivity, your inner truth, your peace built with so much effort. They don't open up to just anyone, because they know what it's like to give in and be hurt. They know what it's like to trust and be betrayed. They know what it's like to love and be abandoned. But when they open up, they do so with everything, with intensity, with loyalty, with whole soul. They don't know how to love halfway. They don't know how to live halfway. And this totality, this all or nothing, is part of its mystery, of your magnetism, of your spiritual strength. And here's a point that almost no one says but needs to be said clearly. The pain that Scorpio carries is not punishment. It's a portal. Every challenge is a key. Each drop is a password. Each tragic ending is the beginning of a new spiritual lineage. And if you're going through one of those moments right now, if everything is falling apart, if nothing makes sense, if the loneliness feels unbearable, know this. This is not the end. This is a rite, a crossing, a call for you to remember the soul that you are, a soul that wasn't made to just survive, but to transform others, and to transform the world around you. If this resonates with how you feel, write in the comments, "My pain awakens me." Or if you've ever been through something that seemed to break you, and even so, you were reborn with more strength, share it with the phrase, "I am the reconstruction itself." Don't underestimate the power you have in recognizing your journey. Each comment here is like a point of light in this space of spiritual connection. And if you haven't liked this video yet, do so now. This simple action helps this message reach other souls who are going through their dark night. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now, because what we're going to reveal next is something that many people avoid facing, but you're about to hear it. And once you hear it, there's no going back. When everything seems lost, when paths close, when the external world implodes, and even faith threatens to disappear, it is at that moment that Scorpio awakens. But this awakening does not happen as a sudden miracle, nor as a magical breath of relief. It happens in the silence of the soul that refuses to die. The Scorpio soul does not cry out for pity, does not expect rescue, does not demand explanations. She goes into process. She dives deep down, recognizes the chaos, accepts the destruction, and from there, begins to rebuild herself, layer by layer, scar by scar, memory by memory. And what is reborn from this crossing is no longer the same being. This is someone who saw the abyss and came back with different eyes. The gift of spiritual regeneration is not a gift given on a whim. It is an ancestral responsibility. Scorpio carries this gift like someone carrying a torch in the darkness, not just to enlighten yourself, but to show others that rock bottom can also be fertile soil. This gift is not on the surface of the personality, but in the depths of the soul. It's in the way he feels other people's pain as if it were his own, in the way in which, even broken, he manages to offer presence, support, listening, in the strength with which, after each fall, you return more whole, more mature, more connected with something that transcends matter. And you can't learn that by reading. This becomes when living. Most people fear the idea of the end of a relationship, a phase, an identity, a cycle. But Scorpio has learned that every end is a camouflaged spiritual code. The universe does not close doors by chance. It closes paths to redirect destinations. And when this happens, the Scorpio man, even though he feels the pain like an invisible dagger, takes a deep breath and enters the process. He doesn't run away. He faces it. He knows that there, in the destruction of everything familiar, is hidden the seed of a new existence. And this silent knowledge, this faith that is born even without proof, is what makes it so spiritually powerful. Regeneration is not just healing, it's recreation. It's you looking at the pieces and deciding that they won't be trash. They'll be a mosaic. It's understanding that what was ripped away didn't make you smaller, but made space for something bigger. It is accepting that the voids left by losses do not need to be filled by force, but can be sacred in themselves. Scorpio masters this invisible art of transforming the irreparable into structure, and that is rare. It's deep. It's alchemical. Few souls know how to use their pain as a tool of light. Few have the courage to look at their own shadows without looking away. Few can bear being reborn several times in the same life. But Scorpio, in some mysterious way, was prepared for this. Therefore, your presence in the lives of others is never neutral. He arrives and things change. Sometimes with a storm, sometimes with silence, but they change, because he carries the gift of activating processes in others to provoke awakening, to show, even without words, that the truth is always in what is deepest and never on the surface. Anyone who gets close to a real Scorpio feels that something invisible is being stirred inside, because it is. And that is part of the mystery he carries, a magnetism that cannot be controlled, an energy that cannot be explained, but it is recognized as if the soul of the other said, "I know who you are, even without knowing your name." Pain awakens the chosen ones, and Scorpio was chosen. not to be the most popular, not to have the easy way out, but to be a bridge between worlds, between the visible and the invisible, between what dies and what continues, between trauma and wisdom. And this bridge, however heavy it may seem to carry, becomes sacred when he understands its purpose. When you accept that your existence was not made to please but to impact, not to follow rules but to break patterns, not to protect yourself from pain, but to transform pain into healing, for yourself and for others. Little by little, Scorpio comes to understand that each difficult relationship, each lonely phase, each fresh start, were not punishments, but invitations. Invitations to access parts of yourself that only awaken under pressure. And over time, this soul begins to walk with more awareness. Realize that your silence heals, that your story teaches, that your intensity touches, and that your presence, even in silence, is transformation in a pure state. Regeneration stops being just survival and becomes a mission, because true spiritual mission is never about perfection. It's about delivery. And Scorpio gives himself completely, even though he knows it will hurt, because deep down, he knows that it is this surrender that purifies, that elevates, what transforms. What a liberator. If this made sense to you, if at some point in your life you had to be reborn after something that seemed to destroy you, then share it here in the comments. I am rebirth. Or if you feel that pain was the tool that opened you to your purpose, comment, my pain healed me. Write with soul. Write it down as a seal of your spiritual journey. And if this message really touched you, enjoy this video now so that it reaches other souls who need this confirmation. And if you're not already part of the channel, subscribe, because today's journey isn't over yet, and what comes now will show you why certain signs, certain dreams, and certain premonitions were never just coincidence. Edgar Cayce, considered by many to be the greatest spiritual prophet of the last century, did not see signs simply as expressions of personality, but as direct manifestations of spiritual energies in movement. In his visions, Scorpio appeared with a very specific and deeply sacred function. He saw the sign as a living channel, a bridge between spiritual planes, a transmitter of healing in times of collapse, especially when humanity loses connection with what is essential. For Cayce, Scorpio was not just an individual transformer. It was a collective regenerator, a silent healer who operates behind the scenes, often invisible but indispensable. And if you are a Scorpio, or carry this energy at some vital point in your chart, know your soul was prepared to guide others through the invisible. These beings incarnate with a greater mission than they can understand at the beginning of life. During the first years, they often feel lost, out of place, carrying pains that they don't know where they come from. But over time, these feelings reveal themselves as signs that they are connected to collective suffering, pains of ancestry, traumas of the collective unconscious, spiritual energies that seek release. Scorpio is like a filter between planes. It absorbs, processes, transforms, and that makes him a rare agent of true healing. Not that superficial healing that denies pain, but raw, deep spiritual healing, the one that requires diving, the one that can only be done by those who have already died inside and still had the strength to be reborn. This is why so many Scorpios report strange sensations throughout their lives, as if they had lived other existences, as if they were always dealing with something that doesn't just belong to them. It's common to hear phrases like, "You're very mature for your age," or "You look like you carry the world on your shoulders." It's not an impression. It's real. Because these souls are on a mission. They are at the service of something bigger. They come not just to live personal experiences, but to work energetically for the healing of groups, families, generations. They are embodied guides, even without knowing it. And the weight they carry has a purpose: to break cycles, undo patterns, clear pain, accumulated over entire lines of time. Cayce said that some souls, even before incarnating, make spiritual agreements. They choose to carry parts of the collective pain to accelerate planetary healing. Scorpio, more than any other sign, represents this type of agreement. That's why your experiences always seem more intense. Breakups, more painful. The crises, deeper. But all of this has a function. It's as if the Scorpio soul had been equipped with internal tools that only activate at the limit. tools that cannot be developed in comfort, but rather in spiritual pressure. And when these tools are activated, something extraordinary happens. The Scorpio soul becomes a lighthouse. Even in silence, even hurt, she begins to emit a frequency of truth, of intensity, of transformation that touches everyone around her. Your simple presence begins to heal. This process, however, is lonely, and that's why it's common for these souls to feel misunderstood, even isolated. They carry codes that most people don't see. They feel omens, have symbolic dreams, perceive energy changes in environments and people. They often try to ignore these perceptions to fit in, but the more they try to deny it, the more life takes its toll. Because Scorpio wasn't born to fit in, born to cause disruption, not to repeat patterns, but to question, not to go with the flow, but to open paths where no one had the courage to go. And this calling, however challenging it may be, is a spiritual honor. It is a sign that the universe has entrusted this soul with a role that few can perform. If you feel that everything you have experienced up until now has seemed like spiritual training, if every pain, every rebirth, every loss has shaped you so that today you see the world with different eyes, then you have already started to fulfill this mission. The mission to sustain the invisible, to take care of what is unseen, to keep the flame of inner truth alive, even when the whole world chooses to lie. Cayce believed that in moments of collective spiritual chaos like the ones we experience today, these Scorpio souls would become even more active, and that's exactly what's happening. Scorpio is awakening, and with it, he awakens a silent legion of curators who do not wear lab coats nor call themselves masters. But they know deep down that they are here to serve. Don't expect everyone to understand you. Don't expect recognition. Your call is not for applause. It is for transcendence. And if you feel that even in silence, even when injured, you continue to be a point of stability in the lives of those around you, then know, you are already fulfilling your role. You are already activating the code that Cayce saw in his visions, the code of collective spiritual healing, of the regeneration not only of one's own soul, but of the soul of others. Because when you are reborn, you show that it is possible. When you survive, you inspire. When you heal, you teach without words. If all of this touched your spirit on some deep level, if you felt that this excerpt was meant to remind you of something you already knew but had forgotten, then write in the comments, "My soul is on a mission," or "I am part of the healing." Write as if you were leaving a mark on the invisible plane, because it is. Every comment here is more than an answer. It's a registered vibration. It is an answered call. And if you're feeling the power of this message, enjoy this video now, so others who carry the same energy can find it. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, do so now, because the next revelation will touch an even deeper point in your spiritual journey. The connection between dreams, signs, and the awakening of your true mission begins soon after. There are times when words are not just information, they are activations. When you hear something and get goosebumps, when a sentence resonates in a way that feels like it was written for you, when the silence between one word and another echoes inside the chest as if opening an old memory. This is no coincidence. This is rescue. This is when the spirit recognizes a truth that the mind is still trying to understand. And if, up until now, each part of this journey has made sense to you, if something inside you has been touched, awakened, moved, then the time has come to ritualize this recognition. Don't just watch, don't just agree, but seal, energetically confirm that you understand the mission, that you honor your own pain, that you now understand why so many falls, why so many reconstructions, why so many deaths and rebirths. You didn't go through all this for nothing. He didn't face the silences, the losses, the meaningless new beginnings, just by destiny. Everything you've experienced to date has been shaping you spiritually for something greater. And now that you are aware of this, you can stop fighting your depth and start using it as a temple. Its intensity is not a mistake. Your pain is not weakness. Your darkness is not punishment. All of this is a tool. All of this is alchemy. This is the moment when the experience turns into a spiritual declaration, in which you stop being just another person who survived and become someone who understands the reason for survival. And for this, there is a small gesture, apparently simple but energetically powerful, that transforms this listening into a pact. The writing. Don't underestimate the power of writing with intention. When you type a soulful sentence, you are anchoring a vibration. You are marking on the material plane what your soul already knows in the invisible. You are saying to the universe, I remember. And when you remember, doors start to open. So if this video spoke to your soul, if you felt that these words described you from the inside, even without knowing you, comment now. I carry the energy of transformation. This phrase is not just a comment. It is an energetic seal, a code, a reminder. And if your journey was marked by rebirths that no one saw, by silent reconstructions, by dark nights in which you continued even without knowing how, then perhaps the phrase that defines you is different. My pain is my rebirth. Write with intention, not just for me, but for you, for the record, so that your presence here is more than a visualization. It is a living vibration. You may be wondering, why is this so important? Because spiritually, everything that is recognized flourishes. Everything that is ritualized gains strength, and everything that is declared with awareness becomes a bridge between you and your purpose. That's why this space here goes far beyond a video. He is a portal, a vibrational field where each word released carries a meaning fallen, and each comment left carries a story, a memory, a strength that joins that of others who are also awakening. You are not alone. Even when he thought he was, there were others crossing the same valley. And now, for the first time, maybe you can feel like you're finding yours. If you know someone who needs to hear this, someone who is in the middle of a painful process, someone who has been reborn 1,000 times and no one has ever recognized, someone who needs to remember the soul they have, share this video with them. It may seem like a simple sending, but spiritually, it can be the seed of an awakening. How many times have you wished someone had said to you, what you experienced was real, and what you carry is precious? Maybe today is the day for you to be that voice for someone. And if this vibration truly touched your soul, if this video gave you the feeling that some part of you was validated, honored, understood, then enjoy it now. Not just to support the content, but because it also sends a message to the universe. This energy needs to reach more people. If you are not already part of the channel, sign up now. Here, each new video is more than just content. It's a continuation of your spiritual journey. And at each stage, we go together unveiling what was hidden, forgetting what never served, and remembering what your soul already knew. The next revelation will stir your spiritual memories even more. Get ready to understand the signs, dreams, and omens that you have already felt, and that until today you have not been able to explain. They were calling you, and you're starting to listen. Scorpio is not just a shadow, as so many still insist on repeating. He is light, but not a superficial light, the kind that shines to attract attention. The light of Scorpio is the one that emerges after everything falls apart. It's the one that lights up at the end of the tunnel, when there's nothing left but your own soul. It is the light that is not afraid of the dark because it has already learned to inhabit the abyss. That's why this energy bothers those who live on the surface. Because it reveals, because it transforms, because it shows what many prefer to deny. Scorpio illuminates pain, not to expose it, but to heal it. He walks among shadows not because he belongs to them, but because he learned to carry light where no one else has the courage to enter. And that's not weakness. This is a gift. This is mission. If you feel that this energy describes you, if you realize that your trajectory has been marked by ruptures, new beginnings, and deep dives, then you are not listening to this video by chance. There is an invisible synchronicity guiding you, a calling that goes beyond what is logical or rational. Because the soul knows what the mind is still trying to understand. And your soul, if it got this far, recognized something. He recognized a piece of himself in this spiritual mirror. He recognized in the words what he had felt all his life but never knew how to name. Now you know. Scorpio did not come into the world to get lost among distractions. Came to wake up. Awaken others, yes. But before that, awaken yourself. And this awakening begins when you stop trying to fit in and start remembering who you always were. You were shaped by chaos, but you did not become bitter. He was injured, but he did not lose his compassion. He was betrayed, but he did not abandon the truth. Every fall, every silence, every painful transformation you faced made you a cleaner, purer, more powerful channel. You have become someone who looks at others and sees beyond. Someone who senses, who understands without needing explanations. Someone who, even though they are bleeding inside, knows how to support others. This is lived spirituality. This is healing in motion. This is Scorpio at its highest. And if you carry this vibration, then your presence in the world is not neutral. You are a point of balance in a collapsing world. You are the portal between the invisible and the visible. You are witness to the fact that it is possible to go through the fire and emerge truer, not more hardened. And that's why this journey cannot stop here. Because everything that has been said so far is just the beginning, recognition of what you already are. But there are still layers that need to be activated, truths that have not yet been revealed, spiritual seeds that only blossom when you say yes to the path. And this path is not external, it is internal. It is the journey of the soul returning home. So if you felt like this video was more than a message, if you felt like it was a sign, then don't ignore it. Signs don't come by chance. They come when the spirit is ready for the next step. Subscribe to the channel now, not as someone who just follows content, but as someone who consciously enters a process. Here, each video is a continuation of your spiritual memory. Every word, a key, each revelation, a mirror. And in the next video, we'll dive into another soul that the world has forgotten about, the Sagittarius soul, the archer of divine truth, he who points the arrow not outwards, but upwards, to the invisible, for the purpose that beats above the distractions of the world. If you are a Scorpio, you will understand that Sagittarius does not come later by chance. He is the next step, the expansion that is only possible after healing, the leap that only happens after the roots are recognized. So before you go, leave your mark. Comment here if this message touched you. Write, "I am light that knows the abyss," if you understand that your darkness has prepared you to heal. Or write, "My mission is to awaken," if you feel that you are already on the path to what you came to this world to do. Don't just read these words, declare. Because when you declare, the universe responds. Every comment here is not just engagement. It's registered vibration. It is a spiritual seal. It's part of your remembrance ritual. And if you haven't liked this video yet, do so now. Not just to support the channel, but because this small gesture sends the algorithm and the universe the message that people are waking up, and that you are one of them. Enjoy it like lighting a flame. Share with someone who needs to remember who they are. And be ready, because the next stage of your journey begins the moment you admit, "I am not here by chance. My soul brought me." If you've made it this far, to the end of this video, that already says a lot about your soul. Not just anyone goes through this deep dive to the end. Only those who truly feel the call remain. Only those who are ready to remember who they really are stay. And for that reason, I want to make a direct invitation to you. Subscribe to the channel now. Don't postpone this step. Each new video will take you deeper into this spiritual journey. It will activate codes that were dormant and remind you, little by little, of your true purpose. And since you've stayed this far, I want to propose a symbolic gesture. Comment below on the phrase, "My soul heard the call." This phrase will be like a mark, a spiritual seal, recording that you didn't just watch it, you felt it. And this, spiritually, has enormous weight. Also, leave your like now if you haven't already, because when you do this, you help this message reach other people who are also seeking this same awakening. And of course, don't leave just yet. The next video is already here on the screen, waiting for you. It is the next step on your journey. Click now on the video that appears on your left eye and continue walking with us. Because if your soul brought you here, it already knows where to take you next. Let's go together.